Hey, Wongaloid Wong. Hello. Hello to you from Germany and from me in Australia. Hey, John. I just started it a bit early because, to be honest, I didn't know uh, how well this is going to work. How is everybody? Joseph. Can you just let me know if you can hear me okay, please? Hey, Rich Mitch, how are you going? Um, Herod is doing fine, okay. Oh, awesome. All right, let's see who's here. Wongaloid Wong from Germany, Joseph, Prometheus, Rob R. and Tool. Bonjour. Excellent. 120 mil. Is it glitchy, guys? I'm not sure if what I can do. I'm hopeful it will improve. The sentient man. Hello, how are you? All right. Well, look, I'll start answering some of your questions, and if you feel like anything's going wrong, if it's too glitchy or the sound's not good, let me know. All right, let's see. Hey, Nick, waiting to join. You mean you can't see anything? Hopefully you can now. Okay, Wongaloid Wong. I have smelled Amber Absolute. I smelled it a few years ago, and it was thanks, Rich. I really liked it. It was one of the first kind of famous, well-known ambers that I smelled when I started to collect. But I found it really, I mean, it had everything a lot of people look for. It was really powerful. It lasted a very long time. It smelled great. I found it to be a very smoky, almost incensey amber. But once a decant of the 2007 vintage, now I don't know what the newer re-released Amber Absolute was like, but the one very linear. And after a while, it got a little bit too much. So it wasn't anything eventually that I was interested in having a bottle of. Once I discovered something like, I got that. I preferred something like that. Okay. Now it's not buffering. Right. Okay. Cool. Thanks, guys. All right. So 120 mil. I have not tried Bellamy Vetiver. I am looking forward to trying it. I think I have a sample on the way. So hopefully, I can't remember if it's someone sending me some samples of some Hermes fragrances, and I can't remember if it was just the original Bellamy or the Bellamy Vetiver. Cherie, hello, hola. Are we speaking Spanish now? I haven't. Okay, Joseph. I haven't actually smelled Promise. I'm presumably that this is the Frederic Malle Promise. No, I haven't smelled it. I haven't smelled any of those recent releases. Are these the ones that have a lot of the Arabic, sort of labeling on them? I haven't smelled any of those. Rich, I have not smelled Lauda for Men. I know that Thomas from Stumptown smells, aka Early Greek, loves it, and he's the one that's kind of sort of raised my awareness of it, but I haven't smelled it. Hello, Marin. Centralize. Hello. Lua, greetings from Bahrain. Hello. Centralize. What would I recommend between Shalimar, EDT, or EDP? Well, it's. I haven't smelled the EDP. I have smelled EDT, and I think I've gotten to smell the parfum version. Generally speaking, just with Guerlain, and you shouldn't apply it with all of their perfumes, but I find a lot of their EDTs, the eau de toilette concentrations, work a lot better on me than the EDPs do. So, I wouldn't, if I was going to buy a bottle of Shalimar, I would probably test the EDT first and see how that went. Cherie, thank you. All right, so yeah, so I was probably, well, a month from today, I would have been in Germany on my way to Paris, and I wasn't. So, Cherie, I wasn't going to specifically go and check anything out. I was very excited about being in Paris, and like there were a couple of places I was really excited about going to. One was the Guerlain flagship store on the Champs-Élysées, the Serge Lutin store. I was very excited about going to the Jovoy store in Paris as well. And I had planned on visiting, like a couple of smaller perfumeries. I was going to try and get into the Diptyque store on 34 Boulevard Saint-Germain, and also going to visit I don't even know how it's spelled. I think, well, it's spelled like this. I don't know how it's pronounced. I'll just put it in the chat. Iunx or Iunx, Olivia Jacobetti's fragrance house. So yeah, it's a shame, but I'll have to wait, and maybe I will go next year, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Hey, Daniel, how are you from the Gold Coast? So, Nick, your scent of the day is Etruscan water. So it's 9 p.m., just after 9 p.m. here, and I've been wearing Idole by Luban all afternoon, but I know what I'm wearing tomorrow, and it's Tolu from Ormond Jane. I can't get used to this camera. There you go. All right. Okay, Marin, thank you for your question about Mitsuko. Well, the EDP version is the one I did a video review of on my channel, and if anyone watched that, it just that particular version did not work on my skin. There was something about it that didn't sit well with me. I haven't tried the EDT version. I suspect that the EDT version might be a little bit of a better wear for me. So I haven't revisited Mitsuko since then. I kind of had no sort of Rochas Femme, which is a similar type of cheaper fragrance, and that seems to work a lot better for me on my skin. But definitely try it out. Try saying what 3 times fast, Rich. Oh, really? So the Serge Lutin story is a nightmare to find in Paris. Not even with Google Maps. Yeah, Sentient Man. That's exactly the one I was going to try and find anyway. Jay Graham, hello everybody. Oh wow, you made it from Washington DC. It's always hard for me to pick a good time where Europe and North America can watch as well. Excuse me. The only way I can do that is if I do this in the middle of the night for me, and I need my sleep. But thank you for joining. Good morning. Okay, so Wongaloid Wong. My thoughts on Amouage Interlude Flanker. I don't know. I haven't got any thoughts because I'm not the biggest fan of Interlude Man as it is. I know a lot of people love it, but I find it really difficult to get past the opening of that fragrance. But that, it's not that I don't admire it. I know the dry down is lovely. I'm kind of just surprised that Amouage are doing a flanker of one of their established original fragrances. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I know people have like flanker fatigue, and mainly with designers, and I would rather just see a new Amouage. But they have, so that's the other thing, is that Amouage have released quite a few fragrances over the last few years. They seem to release a couple each year. So I just think it's a interesting change of direction to do a flanker of an established fragrance, and I think it's iris in it, or there's iris in the name. So I don't know what to think, to be honest. I'd be interested in smelling it. 120 mil. What kind of occasions do you like to wear Bois Mystérieux? That's a good question, because as much as I enjoy it, I would never tell people that it's versatile. For starters, it's not an easy wear for every situation. Having said that, I work in an office environment in my day job, and I have worn it. But you just kind of got to be sensible about the sprays under your shirt. You can smell it, but nobody else smells it, because I do work with people who are sensitive about fragrances and that kind of thing. So the last thing I want is to be told I can't wear a fragrance to work, because I don't want to quit. But you're right. But to answer your question, what kind of occasions? Just wear it when, well, definitely it's better in the colder weather. It's quite a nice weather when fragrance when you're rugged up. I don't know. It could be a good evening. It's a very good evening fragrance if you want that. If you want an occasion, I'm probably the worst person to ask about that, because I'll wear fragrances whenever. Buongiorno, Spy and Mash. How are you? Rich, I'm sorry, I have not tried Le Participe Passé. Oh, hello, Pina. 2 p.m. How come you're not the same time as everyone else in Europe? Anyway, thank you for joining. Ashfaq, how are you? Roberto, orange and vanilla. Well, look, I've got the one that's popped into my mind that it's not exactly a natural vanilla note, natural orange note, is Mugler Amen Ultra Zest. I think it's been discontinued. If you can find it, it's probably not going to be cheap, but that's one I can think of, and hopefully the guys and girls on here can give you some recommendations. I'm just trying to think. Orange and vanilla together. All right, I'll let the computer start working. Hi, Rachel. Hey, Lisa. Now let me try and print. I'm very bad at this. Simos. Sorry, your question is Naomi Goodser Nuit de Bakelite. I've tried it a couple of times. I enjoyed it. You have to obviously like tuberose. It's a very distinct kind of accord that they created there. It's very original to my nose, but it's not something that everyone would love. Lubin Itasca, I really enjoyed. It's a good, predominantly citrus vetiver scent. I think that's a good one because that one comes in the cheaper bottles than the more expensive ones like Idol and Corrigan and Akkad. Okay. Oh, that's a good option, Pina. Binge purchases. Okay. Well, Nikolai is definitely a house now that I want to explore a lot more of. Have you tried New York Intense and Patchouli Intense? Now I really want to try Musk Intense. Ash, Lost in Heaven, beautiful. Thanks, Roberto. Top 3 fragrances for formal occasions. Let me have a think. Definitely one would be Christian Dior Eau Sauvage Parfum. Probably Guerlain Heritage. And the other one, what would I pick? Chanel Egoist. There you go. Cherie, I don't know. I do have samples of I have a Neroli one, a Neroli Intense. I can't remember the second one, and I have Kia Cuba, and I have had a smell of that one, and it's got this really nice leather and a licorice note, which I was surprised by, but it's good. I recently bought a bottle of Guerlain Vetiver, and I do like it. I'm just trying to decide. I like it, but I'm just trying to decide Well, it's been, as everyone knows, Guerlain vetiver has been around since the end of the 50s, 1960 basically, and it still smells great. I think there are more interesting vetivers out there now, but if you just want something, that's classic smelling, then you can't go wrong with that one. Oh, that would be awesome, Sherry. Thank you. No rush. All right. So I don't do complimented fragrances, but I can tell you off the top of my head, because I've had so few compliments on my fragrance, that surprisingly, the ones that have been complimented the most are Green Irish Tweed, which I no longer wear. I've had a couple of comments for Terre d'Hermès Parfum. So these are all ones that aren't your traditional compliment getters that you see on YouTube all the time. What's another one I've had compliments on? I've had a compliment for L'air du Désert Marocain from Andy Tower. So believe me, when I get compliments, they're always surprising because of what I'm wearing. Said that Poisset, scent of the day for I Am Not Ray Lewis. This is a good question. Thank you, Lisa. How much do I concern myself or adjust my behavior based on other people's dislikes to fragrance? Okay. Well, the short answer is I don't concern myself too much, because I work with people. Like I don't work in isolation, and I wear whatever I want from my wardrobe. If I decide I'm going to wear something that day, I don't care. They're not even a consideration. All I do is just adjust the amount I spray, just enough so I can smell it, but I don't really care. As for people around me at home, if I get comments from my family that they don't like something, again, I don't care. If I like it, I'm going to wear it. So I don't really concern myself with that. But I do really enjoy it when someone else likes what I'm wearing. So I don't know. I guess maybe unconsciously, if I've had bad comments about a particular fragrance before, I may like put it to the back of the cupboard a bit. I don't know, but not too much, to answer your question. Hi, Ilya. So Daniel, M7 Oud Absolu. I actually I tried the M7, the original M7, but I didn't kind of get what all the fuss was about. I will tell you, Jay Graham, thanks for your question about blind buying. I do blind buy. I don't do it as often as I used to, but I did blind buy recently. What did I blind buy recently? I bought a couple of things. I'll tell you what I have found over time with my blind buys is the ones that are a little bit more expensive. Once I've, I do try and do a bit of reading up on the fragrance, read reviews and all of that kind of thing to see if it's something I might like. I've had really good success. Like I love a lot of the blind buys that I have in my cupboard. The ones that haven't been a success have tended to be the cheap ones. Sometimes you might read forums or see a review where someone says this is a cheap hidden gem. It's only only costs this much but smells great. It's niche quality. They're the ones I've ended up getting rid of because even though they were cheap, they're not anything that I like. So I don't really have any regrets because I haven't spent a huge amount of money on something that I don't like. Okay. What am I up to? Wongaloid, my thoughts on Tom Ford, Oud Wood, and Tobacco Vanille. Oud Wood I like, but whatever the current version is very weak. And I got rid of my decant of it. And Tobacco Vanille I've never enjoyed. It's too much vanille, not enough tobacco, and there's a real strong overdose of clove in Tobacco Vanille that doesn't sit well on me. I like New York Intense a lot. It is a great fragrance, and it kind of does live up to all the praise it gets. But I actually ended up Patchouli Intense was a blind buy because I bought it to make up a certain amount on the cart when I bought New York Intense, which I had tried. Patchouli Intense was a blind buy, and I like Patchouli Intense better than New York Intense. Top 3 gentlemanly scents. Okay, I'll choose another 3. New York Intense is a good one. Equipage Geranium from Hermes, and I'm gonna throw in Grey Vetiver from Tom Ford. Yeah, Ash. Yeah. Smash the like button. I can't even see the likes because I'm doing this through StreamYard, so I can't see YouTube. Isail, are there any particular notes, fragrances that completely clash with my chemistry? No. Okay. Hey, do I like Office for Men? If I've tried it, I love it without influence. I am not Ray Lewis. I did get to try Office for Men, courtesy of a good friend who sent me a sample of it, although I don't know if I can call them a good friend for sending it to me. I didn't enjoy it. It was yeah, I just didn't enjoy it. It reminded me of aromas that are used in cleaning products. It was very strong, but it's just not the type of thing that I like. I do enjoy, like, I have worn Dior Sauvage, and Dior Sauvage seems very, very refined compared to Office for Men, from what I remember. Jeremy, if you're watching, please don't be offended. Well, Cherie, I do like Immortelle, but I'll tell you that I kind of first discovered it in perfume before I knew what Immortelle was. I got a bottle of 1740 from Histoire de Parfum, and there was Immortelle in that, and ever since that perfume, because I love it so much, has made me kind of want to try other Immortelle fragrances. So to answer your question, yeah, I have always loved it as a note. Okay. Bond number 9. I've only tried a few, and I haven't hated any of them, but I haven't really liked any of them. I've tried New York Oud, Bleecker Street, which was very boring to me. I can't remember what else I've tried from them. Maybe it was just those two. So I haven't tried a lot. Nicola Gucci Oud Intense. My friend Nicholas is on here. Sent me a decant of it, and I really enjoyed it a lot. In fact, I'm not saying that they're the same, but I preferred Gucci Oud Intense to something like Black Afghano from Nasomato. Well, Ilya, I haven't tried enough of them. I get the feeling I would like them. I'm not sure whether I'd wear them or not. I do like Shalimar, say Mitsuko, even though I wouldn't wear it, I can appreciate it. I haven't actually tried Le Bleu, or what's the other one? Oh, Jiki. I've tried, and I did like Jiki. Not vintages, of course, just the current versions. I think recently I did a quick smell of Samsara in the store, and although that was nice, again, not something I would wear myself, because it kind of reminds me of the 80s for some reason, because I guess it was released in the 80s, but it's a very 80s feminine smell. Yeah, Vlad, it's good to see that Ganymede is getting, I think, the recognition it deserves, and hasn't, been all over YouTube being hyped by people. Oh, this is a good question. Has a bottle design ever put you off from buying? No, the answer is no. Like, I don't really care about bottle design that much. Although recently there was a release, I think it was last year or the year before, and I think the perfume was from Sarah Baker, and it was called Jungle Jezebel or something, and it had this kind of weird doll face design on the bottle, and I just said to myself, it might smell amazing, but I just couldn't bring myself to actually have that bottle in my collection. Rachel, no, I have not tried Baikal Leather by Nikolai. I have not tried Maison Crivelli fragrances, nor the Idio Parfumers. No. Okay, so this one I can answer. So Ash, Vetiver in the Black Knight from Francesca Bianchi. I will do a review of this eventually. The vetiver is kind of in the background. For me, it's predominantly a oily leather fragrance, and the vetiver gives it a little bit of smokiness, but it's not. On my skin, the vetiver doesn't come forward too much, and I don't even think of it as a vetiver fragrance. Yeah, Clive Christian, Nick. I mean, I kind of sometimes think with these houses that are really, really priced at a stratospheric level. There's no point in me. Sometimes I'm just put off trying them because, like, what's the point? I know. Do a negative review of a Bond number 9. All right. Look, if I get a sample or a decant of one and I don't like it, I will do a negative review because it will be true. Rich, no, real patchouli. Eventually, you're going to ask me about a fragrance I've actually tried. Okay. Wait. All right. Bond number 9 are the worst niche house in the world. I don't know. Let's have a worse off in the chat and see if anyone can top Bond number 9 for the worst niche house in the world. I don't own any of them. I've heard about that documentary about Gualtieri for Nasamato, but I haven't seen it. There will be a review of The Decay of the Angel in the next couple of weeks, I think, John. I can tell you it will be a positive review because I really, really, I love it, I think. Yeah, I love it. Have I found myself wearing fragrances more in the COVID world? And did you find yourself succumbing to the lure of online shopping? First of all, the first part of that question is I haven't worn fragrances more because I was already doing 2 scents of the day. So I'd do a morning fragrance and then one for the afternoon, evening, depending on whether the first one had worn off a bit or if I'd, gone to the gym and had a shower and sprayed something on. It's been like 2 fragrances a day for a long time, and that hasn't changed. Online shopping, yes. It's been very tempting, although I have been good for about a week. And also, you have been to blame for my interest in candles because I've been kind of less interested in getting a new bottle of perfume, but more interested because I'm spending more time at home in home scent. So candles. And I was even thinking about today, how many of you guys do things like burn oud or incense at home? Because I'm kind of interested in that now. Roberto, it's a funny one. Ambroxan itself, the raw material, I actually quite enjoy. But you're right. If everything's got it in it, you can get sick of it. And I find that everything is kind of more the same-ish when I'm smelling things in department stores, and men's designer shelves tend to all kind of smell the same. But, I feel sorry for Ambroxan. Excuse me. Yeah, well, I think Bleecker Street just, didn't. Bleecker Street got a lot of hype and I couldn't work out why. Sorry, I'm not Ray Lewis. Sorry, not sorry. Why does Baccarat Rouge smell like a grandma? I don't know. My grandma never made fairy floss. Next to buy fragrance, hi Lefteris. I don't have anything next on my wish list actually. So the next one I buy is going to be from something I sample that I will fall in love with, and then I want a bottle. But I actually don't have a bottle that I'm waiting to buy at the moment. Oh, actually, that's not true. I'm waiting for Caron Tabac Blonde to become available in some stores so I can order it. Oh, my favorite Italian perfume house. Oh, let me see. Let me have a look. Let me have a look at my collection, because that should be able to give me an idea, because I usually go by how many I have of a particular house. Well, I'll name some. I think if we're talking about designer, I think Bottega Veneta is a good one. If we're talking about indie, I count Francesca Bianchi as an Italian fragrance, even though she lives in the Netherlands. Laboratorio Olfattivo has a few interesting ones, as has Lorenzo Villoresi as well. So I'll keep it to that. And of course, there's Mendita Rosa. Not one Italian perfume house, but I think there are a lot of good Italian perfume houses doing different things. Are there any fragrances that lived up to the hype for you? There are, but maybe if there are, like, you might have to give me an example of something that was hyped, because I've been more disappointed with hyped up fragrances than pleasantly surprised. All right. Well, the Bois 1920 has become available in Australia, I think, Rich, and I might be able to try that real patchouli. Lisa, was there any specific experience or fragrance that made you a frag head? Maybe I don't know if it made me a frag head. Do you know when I first started buying more than one fragrance, like instead of just having one fragrance in my bathroom cabinet, the first couple of bottles that I bought were Paco Rabanne Invictus and Boss Bottled Intense, when I first started to buy multiple bottles. But it actually wasn't a particular fragrance that turned me into a frag head. It was when I discovered the world of decants and samples that I realized that, because I initially just thought, oh, like, this is expensive. I'll have to buy, if I want to try everything, I'll have to buy a bottle of it. But then, it just didn't occur to me that people were doing decants and samples, and that made me a frag head. Yeah, Kilian. There's a couple that I like from Kilian, but again, they're just like some fragrances for me price themselves out of me even considering them, and I might be missing out on something good, but I kind of just think, well, can anything be that good when we're talking about prices? Yeah, I like incense and Palo Santo as well, Lisa. All right, let's have a look. Okay. Favorite Australian brand? To be honest, I don't have one, because for various reasons, None have. Some have been hits and misses. They've all had hits and misses. I don't, like have a favorite Australian brand. Uh, all right. Daniel, you've heard Phuong Dang is the worst niche house. All I know is that they're expensive. Rich, this is Bud Parfums, Rachel. Yes, I've heard of them, but I haven't tried any of theirs. So when buying, what are the top 3 priorities you take in consideration? Price, scent, versatility. The first one is always how good it smells. Versatility, do I consider versatility? I'm a very when I'm smelling things as opposed to blind buying them. So when I'm testing something, I'm very instinctual when it comes to deciding whether I want something, and I kind of have to have some kind of like reaction to it, gut reaction, emotional reaction, something like that, that will make me the scent that I've fallen in love with and I've ended up buying bottles of. I've tested them, and then when I'm not wearing them, I think about them. Like, it's like kind of the best way I can describe it is, when you meet someone and you like them and you have a crush on them and you sort of constantly thinking about them when they're not around, and that kind of thing is the same thing I go through with perfume. What are my thoughts on Frederic Malle fragrances? I I'm really, it's weird, right? Because I really like the philosophy behind Frederic Malle about making the perfumer the star, giving the perfumer unlimited creative control, best materials, all that kind of thing is what I understand Frederic Malle to be about. But I really want to find one of them that I love, and there are a couple that I do like a lot. Like I do like Musc Ravageur. I do like Carnal Flower. And there are a couple that I like, and what's stopping me from buying one is that in that previous question, I have not had a real connection with any of them. So I think I will say I think that their quality. Excuse me. Portrait of a Lady is another one. They all smell good. They feel like they're good perfumes, but there's something that I don't connect with them. Hi, E-Dreams in Color. It's a matter of convincing my kids to do it because they're teenagers now, and it's all I can do to drag them out of their bedrooms. But I will try. Still, my favorite Goldfield and Banks perfume is Desert Rosewood. Yeah, Kravis, Lorenzo Villaresi's really, really nice perfumes. So I'm just catching up with the comments. What are my thoughts on YouTubers having affiliate links in their videos? Some people have issues with this, but I don't. If they've got links in their description on their video, I think if you're viewing that video, you should understand that there's a reason why the links are there. And if you click links, it means you're going to give that YouTuber a percentage of whatever they're getting. I don't know. I'm just too lazy to do that, because if I was recommending stuff, I'd do the same thing, but I'm too lazy to find out how that all works. So I think in this case, when we're talking about links in the description, where if you as the viewer are going to click on that to see what it is they're promoting, well, you should have a bit of brains about you and understand that you're helping that YouTuber earn some money from it. So I don't have an issue with it, because doing that, I don't think there is anything actually dishonest. You have to understand that if they're talking about something in the video, excuse me, in a positive way, and they've got a link to it, well, you can put one and one together, and it shouldn't be too hard to figure out why that's there. Just use your brains. But I don't do it because I'm lazy, and it takes that out of the equation for me. So I don't have an issue if other people do it. But you know what, Sentient Man, I don't watch any YouTube video. I'm not subscribed to any channels that have affiliate links in the description. What was the first fragrance I bought with my own money? A bottle of Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male. What is my general take on clones inspired by fragrance houses? Hit or miss? For me, it's a miss. I understand why people use them, especially if they're on a budget that can't, where they can't afford the real thing. But I would always tell people that you may as well get a decant of the real thing, so you know what the real thing actually smells like, and you're buying from the original artist. And then if you don't like it, you're not stuck with a full bottle of it. And the important thing is you got the original thing. So whole houses that are based on clones inspired by fragrances, I don't even want to talk about them. Haven't tried Lacoste fragrances. Zoologists, some artistic fragrances, nothing that I have wanted to buy a bottle of. Top 5 worst YouTubers. You might find some of them in old collaboration videos that I've done where I've had multiple YouTubers on. No. So Lisa, yeah, like I said, I want to love something from Frederic Malle. Like, it's almost like I want to own a Frederic Malle bottle. I just haven't found the one for me yet. Yeah, I love Meharis. It's perfectly good. And we were just talking about clones, but see, it's kind of grey, because there are some houses that don't say they're inspired by or clone anything. and they smell very similar to other things. But then, like, I don't even know what was released first, the L'Herbe Bellari or the Musc Ravageur. So it's weird. Favorite amber fragrances, the top two for me still are Ombre Sultan from Serge Lutin and Ombre Rosé from Parfum d'Empire. Good morning from Miami. Hello, Cuban Groove. Which one scent has always resonated with you the most and left the deepest effect or impression on you, like a fragrance made for your soul? For me, it's Chanel Sycamore. That's a good question. Yeah, let me think about that. I think there's been a couple over time. So it's not even a matter of it being my favorite fragrance. Like, right at the moment, my number one fragrance is 1740 from Histoire de Parfum. And it's resonated with me, but like there are some fragrances that really I really almost get emotional about when I'm wearing them. I know it's weird. Like, so one of them is Ombre Rosé from Parfum d'Empire, and more recently, Fate from Amouage, Fate Woman from Amouage. You think you can have too many fragrances? Yes, yeah. Especially if you want to wear all of them. If you're a collector, you can't ever have too many fragrances. But if you're a fragrance wearer, and I think of it the same way as a wardrobe full of clothes. You can have too many clothes because there's just not enough days or occasions to wear some of those clothes. And I try, my ideal would be just to have enough bottles, like I'm not talking about decants and samples, bottles of the ones I love that I get to wear at least a few times a year. Aventus Hype still real. It never was for me. I had a decant for a long time. It's not in my rotation anymore. Nahida, have you tried fragrances from Fortin Manley and your favorites and thoughts about them? I had 2 bottles of Fortin Manley and I have sold them. They smelled nice. They didn't last more than a couple of hours on my skin, and they became a bit of a YouTube darling. So there was nothing keeping them in my wardrobe. 4 fragrances for life, Roberto. I can't answer that right now. That's something I have to think about. And like, what do I consider? Do I consider weather? Do I do one for each season, night, day? I don't know, or just my 4 favorites? I can't answer that now. David, hello from Sweden. Have I tried Bentley for Men Absolute or Davidoff? The only Bentley I've tried is Bentley for Men Intense. I don't have it anymore. My favorite citrusy perfumes. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you one. I don't have like a favorite of each of them. I tried one recently from Artiste, which is called Le Trogue, which was a citron-based fragrance. That was very nice. A lot of the citrusy perfumes I like eau de colognes as well. I actually do like Neo from Xerjoff as well. Um, Designer ones. What do I like? It's I'm kind of stumped at the moment. Let me get back to you, Kravis. Nicola, you almost bought Fate Woman based on my review. I hope you can try it. Yeah, Rachel, there is something that the Meheris in Le Bolario doesn't have, that Muscat Jour has, that some people don't like. What are my thoughts on Stephen putting his own fragrances into his top fragrance list? Who's Stephen? I recently added Chanel Boy to my collection, and do I like any other Chanel exclusives? The ones I tested that I liked were Kier de Rousset. I liked 1932. I liked, and 31 Rue Cambon. There was one more, Bois d'Ils. 8 and Bob. My favorite from 8 and Bob is probably, like there are a few I don't like, but I didn't mind. Is it Egypt? One called Egypt, and Memoirs de Mastic. Thoughts on Papillon? Oh yeah, Cherie, I have a bottle of Salome, which I love. I like Anubis a lot, and I would be happy to have a bottle of that. I haven't tried Bengal Rouge, which everyone seems to like, and I really want to try Angelique as well. So yeah, they're a house I like. I'll let you smell Salome if we ever catch up. Okay. Cuban Groove. Have I explored the House of Nishan yet? Yeah, I've had a haircut, but there's still a bit of pink in there. Fan Your Flames, I've tried. A little bit underwhelmed. Recently, I tried Tuberosa, which I liked for a tuberose scent. I also tried a rose one, the Rosa Turca, but I haven't. Oh, and I've also tried Musica Oud as well. That was very, very strong and stinky, a bit too much for me. They have some interesting fragrances, but again, they're one of those houses that I haven't found anything, that I've fallen in love with. All right. Any other fragrances I'm sick of hearing about? Probably Parfum de Marly Leighton, Parfum de Marly Delina. What else? No, at the moment, probably just those. All the Rojo colognes. Where do I buy my fragrances that aren't available through Australian retail stores or online sites? I've bought a lot of fragrances on Fragrance X, like whatever's been available there. They're, when the exchange rate's been good. Otherwise, I've made a few purchases actually direct on direct purchases on the brand's website. Bye, Lisa. Have fun. Oh, everyone's going. All right, maybe it's a good time to wind this up. Or I'll stay on for another 10 minutes. I still do have Dior Ombre Nuit, no other privés. Hopefully, when I get to Europe eventually, I'll return home with a bottle of Au Noir. I'm glad you like Timbuktu, Nicola. Yeah, I wasn't impressed by Leighton either, Will. No, this passion for fragrance I didn't get from anyone. I think all my dad wore was Brut 33. Maybe occasionally he would wear Aramis, but this is all me. I think the internet definitely helps with gaining a passion for this. Good night, Nahida. Thank you for watching. 42 people. All right. That's more than I expected. Have I smelled a perfume that reminded me of a certain movie? Not a movie, but I did a review a couple of days ago on Guerlain's Habit Rouge, how it reminded me of the show Mad Men. I don't know if you've heard of that one, but yeah, I guess it's similar. Favorite lotions? Worship the Horizon. I don't really have any. eDreams in Color. I own 4 Francesca Bianchi fragrances, which I love, and I don't like all of them. I'm not a fan of Sex in the Sea in particular, and a lot of people love that one, but I think she's definitely got her own unique style, and they happen to resonate with me as well. Ilya, 5 to 10 fragrances, what would they be? If I could recommend them, I'm going to be mean and tell you to watch my current top 10 fragrances, and you'll get an idea what I would recommend. Hi, Pete. I've only smelled a few Bortnikovs. What I've smelled okay enough. Nothing like that really made me want to get some. Nicola, the Au Noir is actually still available, apparently only in Paris. My 4 most important fragrances. That can be different at any given time. I guess I would pick 4 fragrances that are related to probably different things. Lagerfeld Classic is one, because that was actually the very first fragrance I ever wore, right? That a bottle that belonged to me. Fate, Amouage Fate has become very important to me, as has Eau Sauvage Parfum. And I am going to include, what am I going to include? Yeah, probably 1740, because that's kind of become That's probably my all-time favorite fragrance. Rich, nobody's doing reviews anymore. Like, are you talking about other YouTubers? Uh, Rachel, I have not tried Kia Velours. What's the tobacco one? I have tried a tobacco one. I can't remember what it's called. It's like a sweet tobacco, but I haven't tried that one. Sorry. Um, I am I am not experimental enough with layering frags, and I'm kind of a bit of a purist when it comes to this. Is that I need to layer different fragrances, it means that there's something lacking in one of those fragrances. That's just my opinion, though. Do I have a favorite vetiver fragrance? I do like Guerlain vetiver. I'm just trying to think if I have a favorite, though. It's probably. Oh, I do really like. I do really like. I only got a decant of this, but I do really like Private Label from Jovoy. But I kind of like a lot of different vetivers. I think the thing about vetiver is how different it can be in different fragrances. So I don't have the one that sits above them all. Where are we? Bye, Pina. Thanks for watching. I've only heard about Aaron Terence Hughes, Roberto. I haven't smelled anything. Worship the Horizon, Yatigan versus Kuros. Well, right now I own a bottle of Yatigan and I don't own a bottle of Kuros. How do I cope with the family reactions to my hobby? No, they're pretty understanding, actually. Like, I think they don't actually really know how many bottles that I have. They know I've got a lot, and they know I've got this channel, so they understand that like it makes sense for me to have a lot of bottles for this channel. They know I review fragrances, so I have not tried Lagerfeld Photo. Stelios, do I believe that Fragcom plays now a big part on what fragrance houses release? I don't think Fragcom influencers or whatever, I don't think they play a big part on what houses actually release. They play a big part in how houses market their new releases. So yeah, but I don't think they really influence what the houses are releasing. Maybe they do. Maybe they're out there listening, reading forums, whatever, and people saying, "I wish they would do this," or "I wish they would do that." Who knows? Maybe Amouage listened to Fragcom and decided that Fragcom wanted an Iris interlude flanker. I haven't actually heard of Zenith, Roberto. If I had $40 for a designer, you could. Good question. For a designer, well, where I am now, they're having. You could probably buy a bottle of Guerlain Vetiver for $40. Yes, I am. He dreams in color. Hey, little Cooper. Why are you up so late? um, has Dior lost the plot with the Dior Homme 2020? Um, I kind of don't understand. Well, I do understand, but I kind of wish that they called that new release something else rather than Dior Homme. Um, I don't really have a favorite from the Shani at the moment, Robbie. All right, I think I might. Well, little Cooper is my nephew, so he's up late. He's got school tomorrow. I had is are you talking about Narciso Rodriguez, the white cube bottle, Stelios? No, Worship the Horizon. Santal Majuscule is not similar to Egoist. Santal Majuscule has similar sandalwood accord in it, but it's a lot simpler. It's kind of just built around the sandalwood, a rose, and a bit of cocoa. And Egoist has got a lot more going on. There's a lot of spices. There is a rose as well, but I don't find them similar at all. Profumum Roma, they make some good citruses, but I can't remember the name of the one that I tried. I've only tried a couple of samples. I can't even remember the ones I tried, to be honest, Ilya. So my bottles are not on display, but I also don't keep them boxed. I have them in drawers. Basically, I've got a cabinet with drawers, and they're all in there. So they're all out of their boxes, but in the dark and in a cool spot. Favorite coconut fragrance? Um, well, it kind of used to be Virgin Island water, but now I really, really like Gorse from Laboratory Perfumes. Yes, there are. I do like some creeds. I like Boas de Portugal. I like Millésime Imperial. And I don't dislike Green Irish Tweed. I just wasn't enjoying wearing it anymore. I don't know. I don't know why. It's kind of like I outgrew it. I still think it's a lovely smell. My scent of the day is Idol from Luban. Ah, did I sell you that bottle, Pete? I'm glad you're enjoying it. I didn't mind the coconut in that one, actually. Ah, nice work. No, I generally don't spray anything just before bed. Sometimes I might smell, put something on my hand and go to bed smelling it. Um, Worship the Horizon. I really, really like Habanita. I've got a bottle of the Eau de Parfum. All right, guys, I might call it a night. I'm really happy to have you all here asking questions. It's been really good and it's been really quick as well. Thanks for coming to watch. And we'll do this again another time, hopefully. And I really enjoyed it. Thanks, guys. See you, everybody. Ah, Bois de Portugal. Okay. See you, Sherry. Next time you come on, okay? Bye.